There's a fucking pony in my yard. There comes a time in every motorcyclist's career that lives in the north that you gotta put your bike up for the winter. I'm gonna try to stuff it in this cramped up fucking shithole here. It's gonna be tight. But it's better than my other barn. It's got a dirt floor. Let's see if we can make this happen. Plan B. You wouldn't believe what I had to do to get this thing in here. But I got it in here. First things first, when you're storing your bike for the winter, you want to make sure you get it real good and clean, waxed up. I already did that before I brought it in here. I'm just making it look good. Because you don't want rust and everything to get on it while it's just sitting there. So you want to make sure that it's protected. So that's step number one. Step number two is we got to change the oil. That thing right here, that's the drain plug on my motorcycle. It's just a rubber hose with the hose clamp on it and the plastic plug in it holding it in. So you drain the oil. If you let this old oil sit in there, it's acidic. After it sits for a while, and your engine will start to rust on the inside, and it's going to cut the life of your engine down. You want to make sure that you get good clean oil for the winter. So this is my 10-cent drain pan. Alright, next thing we got to change after we drain the oil is you got to change the filter. My filter's right there. Pretty sweet, ain't it? And so these things make a mess when you take them off, so I'm putting this dirty ass shirt underneath this bike so it catches the oil when it spills. That way they don't get the floor all messed up. And then to keep oil off the bike itself, I take this plastic bag here, get it through the frame and the filter and the engine, so that when I pull this filter, I keep as much oil as I can off the bike, because it's a pain in the ass to get it clean. So if you put the filter on right, you should be able to get it off with your hands. You don't need any specialized tools to get it off. So I'm just going to crack it open. I'm going to let the oil drain down that plastic. This way I keep the bike pretty clean. There's no need to get a bunch of oil on it if you don't have to. That's my system I got right there. That's what the plastic bag's for. Instead of running down my bike onto the floor, it's running down the bag onto that sweatshirt I don't want no more. So now that most of the oil is drained out of it, I just pop the filter off. See, there you go. And you just dispose of it properly. And you want to take a rag and you want to clean the surface up where the new filter is going to go. You don't want any dirt or grime in there, otherwise the new filter could leak once you put it on. It's just something that's good practice. This area right here is one you want to make sure it's clean. You want to make sure the old gasket's not stuck to it and there's no dirt and there's not a bunch of bullshit in there. Just get it clean. Alright, so here's my new filter. Black. Right there's the gasket. You want to make sure that's on before you put it on the bike. On the Sportster, you got to prime the filter with about 4 ounces of motor oil. And then just give it a second, and then you just put a little bit on the gasket right there to get it all nice and lubed up, so next time you want to take it off, you'll be able to just twist it off. Make sure you do it with fresh oil. And then you gotta be quick putting it on like this, because you don't want any of that oil to drain out that you just put in. And all you want to do is you just want to get it tight and go a quarter turn past, just hand tight. You don't need to reef on it. And then you just go ahead and you just stick your motor oil in the bike. My bike happens to take 3 quarts, so that's what I'm going to put in. I've changed the oil a bunch of times. I know exactly how much oil I need, so just 3 quarts. Just dump it in like that. Pow! And you want to take your dipstick and you just want to make sure it's good and make sure the O-ring on it's clean. You got to take care of your shit. Next thing we're going to do is change the transmission fluid. It's a good idea to change it too while you're at it. Right here's the drain plug for the transmission, right where my finger's at. We're just going to go ahead and take that out and drain that old fluid out of there, so I'll make sure that's good too. This is pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you're twisting the wrench the right way, like I wasn't there. Here's the drain plug. It's got a magnet on it. If you look at the tip, there'll be metal shavings in there. If you don't have metal shavings on your drain plug, then you're not riding it enough. Just go ahead and just wipe that off before you put it back in. You don't have to reef on these hard when you put them in. They only call for about 20 foot-pounds of torque when you put it on there, so just give it a light wrist pull. You don't want to strip the threads inside of that case. It's aluminum. If you do that, then you gotta buy a new case. Now we're going to take the side cover off, so we remove this foot peg to get it out of the way. When you take these off, you want to go in a crisscross pattern. That way you don't warp the case. If you, or the cover, sorry. I'm a retard. We expect. So I just took them off crisscrossed. See the little spring right here goes on my clutch adjuster, and it fell out. You gotta be careful when you take that cover off, because this thing will come popping out on you. So while we're at it, we might as well just adjust the clutch since we're got the cover off. You slide that off, you break them loose right there. That takes the pressure off your clutch lever. You gotta take that pressure off before you attempt to adjust the clutch. You want as much slack in that cable as you can get. This is your clutch adjustment screw. You turn all the way back counterclockwise until it can't go no more. You don't want to force it. You'll know when it's there. It just kind of stops. And then you turn it a quarter turn back, and that's how you adjust your clutch. You put the spring back in, and if it don't line up right, you always want to go clockwise, you know, if it's not fitting on there right. And then you just dump a quart of motor oil, or a quart of transmission fluid. All it takes is 1 quart. My bike. So I don't have to check it and see if it's full, because I know it takes a quart. And we put our cover back on, same way we took it off. Tighten up the clutch cable so that you have about 1/8 inch of play right here. You can get an 1/8 inch of play. And then we fire this bad dude up. I hope you enjoyed the video. Love you, bye.